All right. So when I go through pre-market in the morning, I usually have a list of stocks. I just look at to see where the market strength is, where the direction could be for the day. So I look at like tech, healthcare, or retailers, EV, or cyber and stuff like that, right? So I
Very
just
true.
go through the list and then I take a look and see, okay, looks like financials or tech has strength this morning in pre-market, so that's where I'm going to be focusing, right? I usually look at just the top names. So for tech, I look at Facebook, Apple, Amazon, stuff like that. And financials, I just look at the big banks, and these are the leaders, right? So if you can see here, so far we got financials up this morning, we got semis up this morning, we got tech up this morning, right? So it's looking so far in pre-market, we're looking pretty green. um, the only ones that looks down a bit is healthcare. We got cyber up as well. Now a lot of these changes, once we get to 9:30, they'll start changing, right? That's where we want to take a look more and see, okay, which one are we focusing on? So this is what I usually do in the mornings, and from there I build a watch list for that day for what we're gonna be playing. A lot of times I don't look at stuff that's already gapped up, stuff that's running. So like space, I'm not looking at this for day trade, right? Like this is gonna be a swing trade, and it could be a day trade here because it's kind of coming down to touch this support line here, and you can see it's starting to bounce, right? So this could be a day trade, but this gap up here, calls are gonna be up 400, 500% up already. So I don't like chasing that, right? The entry for this really was last week when they announced that news. They're gonna do a test flight, which I think was that day. Yeah, that day. So you can see here it moved from 16 to about 29 this morning. That's what, almost double in just about 10-12 days. I, like you guys know, I like space. I believe in the company, and I think they can be successful. So there's a lot of resistance up here. There's one at 27, 32, 35. If it can get over the 27 one, it can go to 30. But market has to cooperate with that. So let's see how he does. I'm holding a few shares on this. So I'm not, gonna be chasing it with the options. I just think shares is safer on this. I do see Palantir is up as well. They earned a contract, I think, Air Force contract, 32 million. So they're up about 2%. So this is one that can keep running. If it can get over 21.16, this can go up another $1.50. So we'll look at this one for a day trade. Let me turn that off. Okay, and you can see it broke out of this descending wedge here. If it gets over that, it can go, right? This is one we can be watching for a day trade. I do see also Boeing is up this morning, about $2. It's gonna meet some resistance here at 237.78. Once it breaks over that, it goes to 240, 244 pretty quickly. I did post a few charts on Friday for stuff to watch. I believe Boeing was one of these. Here we go. Okay, so let me start from the bottom. Okay, so these are a few plays that we can take a look at. Etsy is one, right? Building a base here, as you can see, it's consolidated for a few weeks and it can start moving up. I do like that MACD crossover. RSI is pretty low, starting to turn back up. I do like giving these time. June is kind of tight, but it's not so bad. It only has to move about $10. So that one can go as well. The other one was pins, same as Etsy. You can see it's building a base down here, and the curl on the MACD, the RSI starting to curve back up. So these are plays that I think we can start scaling into, right? This one here, I do like leaps on it. There's a lot of open interest on the January 2022 calls. So we can take a look at that one. Let me see, Boeing here. This was 260 call for July. And you can see it started moving already, right? So we'll take a look at these today in during the market hours and see which ones we can start getting into. I do like a lot of them for a few weeks out, or we can do stock plays as well for whoever can play stocks. Other than that, we're just gonna see what's going on in pre-market here and see what trades come up. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I know there was one question over the weekend on how to use volume, so we'll take a look at that later in pre-market.
Hey, can you please check that airline?
Yeah, we can take a look. Which one?
UAL.
UAL. Yep. Okay, UAL. Nothing so far in pre-market, up a few cents. There is a resistance here. It has to break 56.40. Let's look at a shorter time frame. Okay, one sec. Okay, there is another one here. I see at 57. So it's gonna have to break that one. Let's look at. Okay, so nothing coming up on the MACD or the RSI. What about the moving averages? Okay, that is where it rejected the 50-day moving average. You can see here it's been acting as resistance. So it was support here, but it failed. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It is finding support on the 21-day exponential moving average, so that's good. If you're long on this, that would be your stop loss. If it closes below the pink line, you get out. How long are your contracts for?
I have a stocks for UAL.
Okay, stocks hold and just leave it. It will go back up to 60. I expect 65 within a couple months, say 5 weeks. It should start turning back up with the reopenings and the vaccines. Flights should start going back to normal, so that should start taking off, going back up. With stocks, just don't worry. I had space stocks from 24 average, right? And it hit $14 on May 11th. I was holding just under 1,000 shares, right? I think I was down like 50%, but it's stocks, right? So don't worry about it. And now I'm up about 25-30%. So stocks, don't worry about it. Just keep it. If you believe in the company, UL, it's not going anywhere. It's been there a while, so just keep it. Don't worry about stocks. Options is different, right? Options, they decay, so you got to be careful with options. But if you have stocks, buy and forget. These are companies that I've mentioned a few times. If you can afford to buy the shares, buy them now. Don't look back, right? Rocket is another one. I do like Rocket. Down here at 17, buy a few hundred shares, 1,000 shares, keep them. In a few months, 4-5 months, these are gonna go back up, and you'll make good money on these, right? So that's what I can say on stocks. Now you said UAL, kind of like American Airlines better. Some people don't, but airlines, I think they're gonna go back to pre-pandemic levels in a few months, right? So I like those. Boeing is one I really like. Unfortunately, this is just so pricey on premiums, right? If you're going a few weeks out, you're looking at over $600-700 per contract, and that's if you're going close to the money. So, but it has good potential, right? This peak here was what, 260, right? So it can go back up. There's now just a lot of resistance here, but it is breaking this downtrend here. You can see, right? Point here, point here, and point here, and it just broke out. So as long as it stays above this line, it can continue going back up. Once it starts coming back down, under this white line or 230, you stop out of that trade because now it's going south. So you don't want to be in that trade when it's going south like that. All right, I am expecting we see a bit of a run in NVIDIA with their stock split news. There was a downtrend here. It kind of broke out. The chart is kind of messy, but you can see here there's a curl starting up. It's running on news, so this can keep going. I just feel that we might be chasing it a bit here. Entry was really down here, 580s, 590s. So sadly, I think we've missed this, but let's see if we can get, a day trade or a short swing trade on this. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay. If you guys are not in any semiconductors, I like this ETF. It's a triple leveraged ETF to the long side. If you picked it up here, 30, 32, even 34, it's pretty good. For the next couple of years, right? Chips are going to be really important in pretty much anything. Cars, computers, phones, glasses, all that stuff, smartwatches, they all use chips in them, right? With the shortage, these are gonna take a hit a bit, but overall, I expect them to go up, especially with more cars being smart and electric. This should run pretty high. You can see here, this is pre-pandemic, just over $21. It went down to about $4. And you can see the shift into smart technology, right? Look at that, just from $4 we hit 45, right? Now it came back down to 27, bounced back to 45 again, came back down to 27, and it's now starting to bounce again. Now that is it could be setting up as a double bottom. If it goes back to 45, that's a double bottom confirmed, and it can go up higher. So I do like it. You can always do just shares on this at 34, 35. You could also do leaps on it. Depends on what you can afford to do on this one. So some people like getting just specific stocks, say Nvidia, Qualcomm, or Marvel. You can do one of those. I know a few people like AMD. AMD has a lot of potential. It is sort of like broke the downtrend, came back to retest it, and it's now bouncing up again. A lot of people are saying this will be $100 stock. I agree. It is a slow mover. It has a lot of overhead resistance here, but I do agree that in a couple of years, maybe even end of this year, this can go back to 90, 95. So. Okay. Go ahead. Any more questions?
Yeah. So my question is, can you check Fisker FSR?
Yeah.
Because I have an option and it is going to expire on 11th June.
11th June. Okay. All right. So Fisker, I remember I looked at this. So let me pull up 15-minute chart, and I remember I mentioned, I think it was maybe Friday or Thursday. It struggled here. See here, it struggled to break out again here and again here, and this was my line here saying this is the area you want to break, right? 1250. If you break that and you can close above 1250, you can see here it gapped up the next day, and it couldn't hold that area. It came all the way down, right? And again, it tested here, came back down, tested again, came back down. If it can get over this 1250, 1260 area and stay above it, it will go higher. So I'll show you you can see here, right? Look at that downtrend, right? Downtrend, 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 and it finally broke that. So just quick messy line here, there. See that it broke that line, right? And it bounced. Now, why I said this area here, you can see on the 2 hour, right? It's like a straight line. It's failing to break that. That's what 3-4 sessions there that it's failed to break. It's gonna struggle unless it gets over 1260. If it gets over that, it can go to right there, which is about 1310, 1315. It can get over that. But you see this MACD here down here, and you can see the RSI also. It's pretty high, so this will go sideways for a bit. Unless volume comes in and makes it go higher, this will go sideways. Now let me look at option contracts for this. FSR. Okay, FSR has a lot of bullish June contracts, but they're June 18th. So there's about 6,000 in open interest on the June 18, 1250. Now I think you're holding a 13 call.
Yeah.
13,
June
right?
11, 13 call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, potentially, if this doesn't move by, I'd say Thursday of this week, I would start cutting this. Next week is a short week, isn't it? We have it's a long weekend next week. So I would start cutting this Thursday. If it hasn't moved, I would start cutting it and, reducing my exposure on this, because it's going to get tight after that. So if it stays here, it doesn't have to move much. It's like 50 cents, but that is a strong resistance that it needs to get over. So.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Ali.
Hey.
Morning. You mind checking DKNG, please?
Sorry, which one?
DKNG.
Oh,
DraftKings.
DraftKings. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let me pull this up. Okay. Almost a crossover down here, right? I do like that basing and starting to curl movement here. All right, let me pull up moving averages. Moving averages, so it will meet resistance up here. You can see that. Let me see on the longer ones. Okay, so where it rejected on Friday is the 55-week moving average. So let me turn that off. Okay. I do like that one. Are you in or are you looking to get in on this?
Looking to get in.
Looking to get in? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, let me see. Okay. So there is a resistance line here. Just gonna put a rough line there. Okay. I would say, if it can get over this 45.40, 45.50 here, which it could potentially do today, if it can get over that and confirm on at least a 4-hour or a daily candle, this here, you can see it's rejected a few times. If you can get over that and close, I would do a 48 or maybe a 50 call, but I would go at least 6 weeks out on this. So let me pull up the option chain and take a look which one has the best OI. DKNG. Hey, Lindsay. Okay, DKNG. June 1850 has a lot of open interest. There's about 15,000 open interest on the June. There's also about not too much on the July. So I would go with the June 48, maybe June 50. But June 50 is a bit of a stretch, especially it's only 3.5 weeks, and that's like 10% move on the stock. So If you can confirm, I would do 48 strike on that.
Thanks, man.
All right, no problem. Some people are in the wrong channel, so let me just move these people over. Give me a sec. Okay. All right, guys. Fire away. I know you guys wanted to see my pre-market.
Hello.
What I do
Can
here.
somebody
So
hear me?
go ahead. Fire your questions.
Good morning.
Morning. How's it going?
Good. I think I figured it out.
Okay. Has anyone looked at PEP this morning? Okay. Man, this thing, we looked at it. I remember we looked at it here, 130s, me and Trevi, and we said it was making cup and handle. And it was a wonky handle. The handle was higher than the lip of the cup. But you can see here, right, is it held this 142 area, and look at it now. It's just, going there. I do like that. I like this one too, but Trevi doesn't like this. But this is doing something similar. You can see it's not the best sort of cup. Made a cup here, and this is kind of its handle. It's a sideways handle. It's not the perfect one, but it is setting up. As long as it can get over this 55.15, this can go higher. And you can see here before the pandemic it was 60, right? But Travi doesn't like this, unfortunately. Okay, this is one I really like. Yeah, it bumps like that, dumps here, and then let's see how that does. Okay. All right, let's take a look at a couple of things here. So space, you guys all see the news on space? Space finally had a successful flight in about 2 years. It hit, let me turn on pre-market. It hit 28.75 this morning. It came all the way back down to about 24.50, and it's now bouncing. Let's see how market opens. We could potentially get a trade on this, but let's see how market opens. If it comes back down to this 24.50 area again, I would consider getting in for a day trade. I really like the news. So let's see. It has a lot of upside to it. Yeah, this is also failing here. All right. So far, financials are the best pre-market. Chips are doing pretty good too. So we'll keep an eye on those two for now. Okay. I see Moderna had some news this morning. Was it Moderna? Yeah, I think it was them. They partnered with Samsung to make vaccines. Was it Samsung? Yeah, in South Korea. They partnered with Samsung to make vaccines. So. Yeah, it's crazy, but hey, Moderna. There was a lot of option flow for space on Friday, 21st. Is that Friday? Yeah, on Friday there was a lot of option flow for space, and most of it was in calls, July 16th, 25 and 30 strike calls. There was also a lot of put flow for it. There was 18 strike May 28. So looks like some people were expecting this to fail, as always, which I don't blame them. But it actually did it this time. So this is not good news for Google. Russia says Google fails in filtering banned content. Says may slow down Google services. So keep an eye on that. In terms of Google, it's okay pre-market. Hasn't moved much. Can you guys all see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Go ahead. Your mics are open, so if you guys want to jump in on voice, all yours. All right, that was Google, right? Okay, let me take a look at some more news this morning here. Oh, this was one, I think we picked it up for a swing. U was 105 call for August. We picked it up at, I want to say 320, and it's up $1.15 pre-market here. So U looks good this morning. Let's see how that runs. I think it closed up like 20% already or something. So DKNG Oxy. I like this chart here. You can see here it's setting up falling wedge, broke out here, right? It's now just trying to consolidate here. It might come down and retest that. This looks a lot similar to that. You can see here, broke out, right? Came back down, did a retest, and look at that. That's what, $10, close to $10. Yeah, so earnings out of the way, I do like that one. 35, it's 13. Yeah. I've been eyeing skills as well. I would say shares on this one. It's just so unpredictable. So shares might be good on that one. Okay. Yeah, no. What do you guys think of Zillow? I know a lot of people like it for the ease of use. But I think it runs with the housing market, right? So the housing market has been pretty crazy lately. But when that crashes, I think this comes back down with it, right?
That makes sense.
Right. Hey, nice to have you on here. Yeah, no, I was looking at this, right, and I'm like, I do like it down here, at whatever 110, 120. I think it also got an upgrade on Friday, but with the housing market, the main thing that moves this, right? Yeah, it is a good. That's true too. And Redfin is another one that people use. I don't know. I feel like it's just so one-dimensional in terms of it moves with the housing market. No one knows when it's gonna crash, but when it does, you're kind of stuck in that one. So. I can go over it again if you guys don't mind, the ones who were on earlier. So I'm just gonna quickly recap my pre-market routine for a few more people who have joined. So I have a list here of stocks that I look at, right? When I get in and work, 8-ish, I start looking at these and I see where the market strength is. I look at the top ones, like FANG, and I look at NVIDIA, AMD, EMET, and financials. I look at just the big banks, JPM, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, and retailers, healthcare, EVs, and cyber, right? So I have this list here. Right off the bat, it tells me right now in pre-market, financials, semis, and tech are the top performing groups this morning, right? You can see here pretty much all of them are green, but financials are sort of more green than the other ones. Now, throughout the day, you just monitor that and you see where the market strength is, and that's where you want to be, right? If you're day trading, if you're scalping, you don't want to be in tech when it's choppy or it's it's going down and you're trying to do calls on that. So that is my list in the morning. Now, it's not a full list, right? There's other stuff that I haven't looked at, like energy plays, the plug and the blink and stuff like that. My bad. Let me delete that. Plug's doing pretty good. Who was it? I think it was Ansh was asking me about Plug. Yeah, so I don't look at, the energy sector. They don't move that much. When they do, they move with the overall market in terms of, going up. Now, oil is separately. Oil plays, you could look at which one here. Let me see. Diamondback, that one. So these are oil plays. I normally don't play these. They depend on, oil going up and down. But that's my morning routine, right? Space so far. Yeah. It's bouncing. So let me turn that on. You can see here it's starting to bounce back up, right? 9 o'clock, that's when the Robin Hooders get in and they start pumping these back up. So if you bought this morning here at 26, 25, whatever, and it went all the way down almost $2, probably got out, right? But you don't want to be trading pre-market. You're chasing stuff. Wait till the market opens, see how it actually reacts when the big boys are in the market. So right now you're just chasing stuff. Hey, morning, Ange. Okay, let me see.
Hey, good morning.
All right, guys. So I'm recording this all, so you guys can watch this later if you want to. I know a lot of you, probably all of you, are getting ready for work and stuff. So I'll get this on and I'll upload this to YouTube later today. All right. Plug. That's what I was looking at. Plug. Right. 28.80 is still my line. It has to get over. Once it gets over that, it can make a $2 move to well, $1.20 move to 30, and then it can, you know, can go higher after that. I think you asked me about this one, so keep an eye on that one. Blink shouldn't be far behind. Okay, Blink over 3470 has room to go up. Okay, on my lines, you can see I just drop it very quickly. I don't, you know, go very detailed in terms of touch points and stuff like that. It's more a zone. It's not really an exact line, right? I do use this indicator here called swing that will sort of confirm your lines, and you can see, right? Confirm, confirm, sort of confirm, and support down here, right? Support here, another line here. So if you're, you know, trying to get into charting or you want some confirmation, it's not a bad indicator to have on there. But yeah, I just drop my lines very quickly, and that's pretty much it. Now there obviously there's another line up here, but I don't draw too many, it just gets so messy. So okay, all right, what, 25 minutes to go, so let's see what else is on here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, fire away. I'm just checking my messages here. Okay. So these are all support now, resistance, resistance here. We could potentially get another resistance there, 2960. Yeah, let's draw one there. And you guys can see why that's a resistance line, right? It failed to break out here, acted sort of support here, again here, and failed a couple times here, support, support, resistance, and then it came all the way down. So that's another line there. Okay, so there's a few resistance up ahead, but I have shares, so I'm not too worried about this. All right. You guys see the Bitcoin bounce? There was news last night. China wants to regulate this and limit it to professional traders only. I think it dropped it down to, I believe it was that drop to about 33,000. Yeah, 33 or 32 last night. Yeah, and then it bounced almost 5,000 since then. So yeah, Mara and Riot. Honestly, just, you know, leaps or shares down here. Depends on your risk tolerance. If you want more risky, you could go with like shorter term contracts. I would say at least 4 weeks out. Don't do you know, a weekly or 2 weeks out, though that's risky, because as you can see, right, if you look at Bitcoin, look at that, So people thought that was the bounce, right? And then it just keeps going down. So it did break a very important resistance line here, sorry, support line here, and I'll show you guys. Right, it hasn't closed below this 21-week moving average since, like, I think March of last year, and it's always acted as support, and it finally closed under it. It had to go over that to stay above that to continue the bull run. So it's breaking some technical levels here. It's coming back down. It is bouncing on the 55-week moving average, which is at 30,000, but it's getting riskier down here, right? So you wanna limit your exposure on that. You don't wanna, not give yourself time. In terms of Mara, I would say 25 calls. If you can do end of June or mid-July, 25 calls, they can pay, right? It can bounce like 10-15% a day depending on how Bitcoin bounces. Same thing with Riot. It's funny, these are both at the same level, but Riot hit 80 and Mara only hit 55. So this has this broke. Remember this symmetrical triangle from a few weeks back? I said if you broke that, it's gonna go down, and you can see that that's what almost a $20 drop. When was this? I think this was a few weeks ago. Riot. Yeah, so you can see that it's built a base here, sort of a 10-day base here at 22, which is the 55-week. You can see that. You see how important these levels are, right? So I could tell it was a base just by looking at the price action here, but why did he make a base there? There you go, 55-week moving average, right? So these are important levels. I'll show these again. I have the 21-week, 34-week, 55-week, and you can add more or you can reduce them. If you guys want these, just DM me. I'll send you the code. This is a custom script I wrote, but I'm willing to share you guys. So, use these levels. You can also see this is the 200-day moving average, right? Now, if it breaks that, it's in trouble, right? If it breaks that, this goes back lower. You can potentially see 16, which is that low there from early January. So it has to hold here. If it does not, say bye-bye to that one. Okay, let me turn those off. Let me actually draw a few lines here. We can put one down here. Okay, and everything else up here is resistance now. So yeah, Riot, Mara, I would say shares, and get shares on this. Your entry could be here, 23. Your stop out could be, you could say this low here at 20.50. So you're risking about $3 for a lot of upside. Dollar cost averaging is important if you want to hold this for a while. I like to buy in 1/3. So stuff like I did buy, this is a Bitcoin ETF that we have here in Canada. You can see here it hit 13. I started getting in here. I believe they stay here at about 9. I missed that bounce on the first day here, but I do want to get in here at 7 again. So I'll average more down at 7. I did pick up this one. This is Ethereum ETF. Same thing. This hit 20 almost, and it's down to 10 here. So I picked up some just over 11, I think, and it bounced to 13 the next day. I'm still holding this. I'm not getting out of this anytime soon. But if you pick these up down here, if you believe in crypto, just pick it up, get a few shares. and just hold them. So that's a nice bounce. I looked at this yesterday with Travi at, I think it was just over 1,800, and that's a $600 bounce. So crypto, you guys think crypto is here to stay? Look at that. Which one was the other one? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Okay, we got 15 minutes more to go. So let me see what else is coming up. Okay, let's take a look at some payment ones. I have an old alert here from a while ago. Could potentially go over it this time, so let's see if it can do it. It's also rejecting the 50-day, so okay, time to clear up this chart. So okay, this is now resistance, and these are support. I see Cruise Line has some news this morning. Yeah. Royal Caribbean says cruises to resume in August. Can see this sort of trend line here, right? Yeah, it has a few more dollars to go before it hits that. I'd say somewhere about 86. If it can get over that, it potentially has room to go up. You can also see a few resistance here, 93, 96. The trend line is really useful if you guys use it correctly. And you guys, I've been mentioning the trend line for a while. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, let me take a look at QuantumScape. Okay, so support here, but this not the greatest support, honestly, down here. Let me look. So let me turn off everything else and just the volume profile, right? So this here at I believe that is probably their merger announcement or the hype, and then it comes down like they always do. So this is your floor here, $17, and then it has a volume gap to $27, which it is just now sitting at. You can see that here with this volume node, right? So all right, let me do this. I'm gonna change this to blue. All right, okay. So volume node there, and this is your point of control. All right, let's turn this off. You can see here where I drew my support line at 2637. That is your key support, and your volume node or your high volume node is just above that 2743. If it gives that up, this has a $10 drop to about $17, which is down here. That is not good. If it breaks that, I would short that going down. Your next volume node is at 35, and your point of control is at 49. You can see here when it broke this 35, it was 4 sessions to drop about $8, right? It lost about 30% of its value in about 4 sessions. So if it does the same thing down here, 27, in a few sessions, in about a week, it can go back to 17. So keep an eye on that one for the downside. Now, is there anything to make this turn around? Don't think so. Be honest, this is one of those junk stocks that doesn't really have any products right now. It was running on hype. So right now, there's nothing they offer on the market. And you can see that with all SPACs getting hammered, right? So a lot of these will go sideways or down for a while. Yeah, so these are the volume nodes that it needs to regain to go back up. RSI, nothing there. MACD, nothing there. So I'll delete those lines. Okay. Yeah, this is one I'm pretty annoyed at. I missed this, but moving on. Roblox. I know BotBot has been playing this for the last week and a half. It needs to get over this line here now at 80 something, 82. Over 82, it can go higher. I do like this. It has good momentum down here. Look at the volume, almost 3 times the moving average. So this it can go more. This can definitely go more. It has at least a few dollars to hit the next resistance here at 84. So that one's good. It can go a while. What does the option chain say? Roblox, a lot of call flow for August. 100 strike has about August 3,500 OI on the August ones. There's a lot of 100 strike for July as well. That also has 3,500, and there is May 28, 90 strike has about 700 in OI, but had 7,000 in volume. So that is one to keep an eye on. But the one I was looking at was, like I said earlier, Unity Software. This, I believe, has 30K in OI in, was it August? Yeah, it was August. August 20, 105 strike. Yeah. So June 110 strike has about 15,000 in open interest, and a lot of that was from Friday. Well, all of it was from Friday. Someone purchased over 14,000 calls on this, right, for June 18. So this has room to go. If you have not picked up I do suggest picking up a few. It wasn't expensive. I think it was under $350 a call. So we can pick up a few of those if you haven't. All right, we're a few minutes away from market opening, so let me see what else is going on here. Yeah, that's doing pretty good. Okay, we can see here right now, still financials and semiconductors are holding up pretty well. When market opens, say give it about 4 to 5 minutes, we should start seeing which direction it's really gonna pick. That looks promising, if it can actually do it. All right, let us see how this opens. So I'm going to turn that off. All right, market open. So we'll take a look, see what comes up. You can see right away here the semis are pretty much gapping up. And you can see EVs are down, right? Okay, FANG looks good. Google up 20 bucks. Turn that off. Okay, you can see here, right? Very clear to see. Support, resistance, support, 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 and now it's right here. We're right here at 32.10, right? If it holds this, you can see how quickly it moves between this area and 32.50, right? That's a $40 move to the upside. If it fails holding that, you can see it's a $40 move to the downside, right? Very easy to see. That's your zone to watch, right? Does it test and hold? Does it test and fail, right? Is now another support that is built here at 31.90. So I'll draw a line here. 31.98. So that's another support down there. So it's only now $20 to the downside, or $10 to the downside. But you can see now it's pumping to the upside, right? Don't chase this. You never buy contracts 2 minutes when market opens. Give it a chance to play out, you know, see how the market opens and it picks a direction. So far, we're looking pretty good. EVs still taking a hit. Everything else, tech looks good. Financials are weak now, you can see here. And semis, as I said, those are leading the market. If this goes over 610 and it holds, this can go higher. Now let's see how much higher it can go. 615 is the next resistance line. All right. Guys, his space is dumping. Coming back down. Okay, Google is pretty strong. You can see that here, $30 move. It's broken over the highs from Friday. It has room to go to another $20. It has another $20 here to go. Now the only problem with this is today is Monday. These are pretty expensive contracts. Most people won't be able to purchase this, but I'd do a 230.50 contract for Friday on this one. That is about $1,100. So Google on that one. Okay, EVs, AMD, a lot of resistance there. This one's good. I kind of like this. So this is one I think we can pick up a 232 contract for this week expiry. Entry is anything under 235. It's currently at 225. So go small on this. The volume is low. We're gonna build up a position on this, but I do like this one here. It's already at 240 now, so if you were able to pick this up. Can chase this to about 250 would be my chase zone. After that, I wouldn't get in higher than that. Okay, hitting 250 now. Okay, you can see that is now $3, right? It's what, 20%? Quick 20% in about 4 to 5 minutes, right? And you can see how important it is to have this watch list, right? Right off the bat, you can tell where the strength is for the opening for the day, right? Look at that, Soxal is up 5%. This is the leveraged ETF I spoke about. So you can see everything else is EVs are getting hammered down here, right? But cyber is doing okay. Healthcare is okay. Retailers are okay. Financials are okay. Tech and semis are where the strength is, right? Now I know a few people ask why I always play calls. It's easier because the green you see here, right? It's easier to play the calls. It's not hard to play the puts, right? But if you look at Tesla down here now, let me pull up the levels on Tesla, right? This is your resistance line, 590. It failed on Friday here, 590. And I think I mentioned this on Friday. It had to get over this 596 area, which it touched and failed. 596, it hit 573 here, which is the low from Friday. So it could be bouncing down here now. It might have a bit more to go, but it could start reversing down here. Now you want to watch for reversal signs and see if it gets over today's highs and start moving back up, right? Early strength in semis, and this is 320, which is almost 30% up. Yeah, 35% up. So you can start locking in some profits on that. You can ride this more. I do like locking in. That was a 10-minute trade, not even market's only been open 10 minutes. We didn't pick this up at open, so that was about a 5-minute trade, and you already made 35% right off the bat. Most people, that's your trade done. You don't need to force a trade. You pick up the one trade, that's it. If you're doing this part-time, you're doing this before you go to work, that's it. You've probably made more than you do at your day job. So this is why I don't chase. I just need the one trade for me to justify me doing this. So anything over that is just bonus money for me, right? But you can see here the strength, like I said, is with semis, and you can see it's now going through 615. The next area for this is 620 has a bit of a resistance here, and then 626, yeah, 626 right about here, right? If that can keep going, it can go much higher, and if since these are sort of the leaders, if these keep going, they'll pull the rest of the semiconductors players in that sector, right? Okay, and there we go. So Tesla is starting to turn, new high here, can keep going. Strength in cyber. Google is going also as well. If you picked up that 2350 call I mentioned, Amazon, there we go, right? You see that this was the 3208 area we looked at, and I said if it starts curling, this can go, and you can see it's a $30 move in about 10 minutes, right? Now it's easier to play these and call these out when you're on voice. There's no typing involved, right? It's harder when you have to type this out, especially because I make sure I type out the full details of the contract, right? It takes me a couple of minutes to type it out, make sure everyone can pick this up properly. So there we go, it's starting to go. This is where I would normally start. I would start putting a stop loss in to protect some gains here, right? 35% in about 7 minutes, not bad. You can lock some in. This is just coming back down for another move, but you can potentially lock in your gains and you're done for the day, right? Everyone has a different strategy, everyone has a different target. It all comes down to you. My aim is to get you guys on the right contracts, on the right path, and you guys can make your own decisions, right? So let's see. Space is coming down, right? We'll watch this for a reversal sign later in the day to see if this can go back up. Okay, so this is the area I'm watching here, 615, to see if this can stay over this. You can see here, we are now rotating into EVs. They all went from red to green. Okay, let me pull up. Okay, so strengths is still with. Oh, are you guys not seeing my stream?
I can see it.
Okay, perfect. I'm watching Tesla here, maybe for a push for a 590 call. I need to see more strength in this before we pick this up. Okay, you can see, like I said, this was just regular pullback, and it's flagging here, starting to build a flag. for a move higher, right? Okay, look at that Soxal, right? If you guys looked at my post from Friday, right? 36 calls at 375. Who wants to guess how much those are going for? 36 calls for July. Those are going for 450 now from about 375. This was late Friday. I posted this, right? That's what, just under, I'd say 25%. A quick 25%, in a matter of hours. So when you start picking up these, habits of reading the chart and how to notice the momentum changing and the MACD starting to change and turn back up, you can see down here, right? The MACD turnover is significant. It's not magical indicator, but it's pretty significant in terms of momentum and direction. Curled here, and you can see we went down about $15. Started curling here, which was 34. We're at 36 already, right? So this one's still going, and I said it's flagging here. This is 320 again here. So if you picked it up at 240, we're back to 35% up for anyone who did pick it up. Amazon, let's see how it reacts up here. I am still watching Tesla to see. I'm waiting for something to convince me to get in on this, right? Now, I know there's other trades going on outside the ones I'm looking at, right? But I'm focused on these ones here because these are liquid plays. These are leaders in the sector, in the industry. They dictate how the market moves, right? You can see here, 616, it managed to actually close above it on the 5-minute candle, and it's not going to be pushing up, right? As long as this pushes, it pulls up the rest of the market with it, and we can see here, right? Now, how do I pick my strike? So let's break this down. Right here, we picked it up at 131. Let me go to the 1-minute one. Here, 131, I think 80. That's where we picked it up, right? I went it for a 132 strike, right? I go right at the money or just out of the money. You won't see a higher percent in terms of gains, but you're protected to the downside and your gains are pretty good, right? You'll see a higher movement in terms of delta because the delta is stronger, right? So you want to go right at the money or in the money if you can. Those will protect you when the market turns. When this turned here, right, it only lost about, let's say, 10% from our entry. So it's not, it's not big. So make sure you guys are, playing contracts that are close to the money at least. Don't go crazy out. You will get burnt, right? Take it from someone who has been burnt. Don't go crazy out of the money. So we can start seeing here, you see Cyber is picking up steam as well, right? So you'll see here MACD crossover on net, D-Dog, the same thing. This is going to be a bit of sideways movement. This one here has another $2, actually $2 move, right? You can see that one's going to be sideways for a while with a gap up. All right, Tesla finally showing us something. So here is where I would pick up a 590 call for Friday. This is expensive. This is at just over $12, right? 590 call for Friday. You could go 600 call. It's just over 850, but there's a resistance here, so I pick up the 591, right? Okay. You can see here we're starting now to pick a direction, right? You can see retail, right? Just sort of sideways. You can see financials sort of sideways, tech right here, and semis. That's where your strength is. See this? Keep going, right? And this will eventually hit 619, and it will make a decision there if it goes one, if it wants to go higher, or if it's gonna consolidate under that resistance. These are the leaders, as I said. This is where you want to be looking at. Don't look at other stuff. Don't look at stuff that's not traded frequently, right? If you do want to trade those, make sure you pick the most liquid contracts on there. Don't pick contracts with like 500 in OI. No one's gonna buy those from you. So just something to be aware of. Make sure you guys are playing liquid contracts so you don't get burnt. You don't have an exit. Now let me see a few trades here. Wow, I'm glad you guys got out of that one. Lindsay, I think you had that one. Man, this thing, it pisses me off every time it does this. Opens, goes down, bounces back up, goes down again. So boing. 235. Space trying to push. Okay. So while the market keeps going, let's see what else we got. So U is the one we picked up on Friday at 320, and I'm just gonna update this here. Okay, so U is 20% up here. Okay, so remember I posted these. We're gonna go over a few trades here, and you guys can ask me questions on what I saw to make those trades, right? So let's go over a few here. Okay, my watch list from Friday. Let's look at the first one I posted was Etsy, right? And this was a daily time frame. So Etsy, right? MACD crossover, RSI pretty low. This is the support line I was looking at was the 55-week moving average. It's down a bit today, about 20 cents. It is holding the support line here at 166. So nothing on that one so far. Let's look at pins. Pins is up about 2.3%, right? I mentioned 70 strike calls for January 2022, right? Same thing, building a base on the 55-week moving average. MACD crossover down here, RSI curling back up, right? Twitter, look at that, 3% up, right? 60 calls for July at 155. These calls are going for $2 right now. Same concept, 55-week EMA, MACD crossover, RSI pushing back up, right? We'll look at Cree, 1.5% up. I looked at 100 calls for June, and my one concern here was the resistance. It was meeting at the 34-week EMA, but it looks to be sitting over it today. So this can push to 100 within the week. Boeing for July, up $2 from when we could have picked it up. This was 260 calls for July. You can see here it built a base on this confluence of support here, 34-week, 55-week EMA support here. You can see broke this downtrend I mentioned, and I mentioned in pre-market it can come down and retest this this area, right? So came down, did a retest, pushed back up, right? If I turn that off, you'll see that clearly. Came down, did sort of a retest, and pushed back up. So that's those are the things you want to watch out for. Twilo is one I mentioned is a stock play. Entry was, did I mention an entry on this? 316, up $5 already. And Soxal was the one I mentioned at 36 call. Now, Fastly, 3% move, right? So that's pretty much what I look at. I don't use any fancy indicators. I don't use any sort of paid subscription or anything that you guys can't have. You just look at the chart, read what the chart tells you, and then you read the market sentiment and go with that. Don't read too much into hype, stocks being hyped up. That's where you get burned. Be careful with that when people are hyping stuff up, and then when it seems a bit too easy to make money, you guys should be cautious, right? If it was that easy, everyone would be doing this. And you can see what happened in January and February, right? Everyone thought that they could just jump into the market and make money off GameStop and Doge and stuff like that. And you've seen what's happened since then, right? It's not that easy. It takes a lot of work to do this, right? It takes a lot of time and patience. A lot of your trading is patience, right? People will jump in on trades without waiting for confirmation. They'll jump out of trades because they're scared to lose money without waiting for an actual reason. Break of support, break of key moving average. Wait for a reason to get in or out, right? That's where you make your money. It's not in the actual movement. Once the movement starts, it's pretty quick. It's the patience that pretty much people are not able to, pick properly. So that's just something I'm gonna leave there. Okay, we got a few trades here. Microsoft looks promising. I would wait for that to make a new high. Micron, yeah, coming down a bit. Okay, there you go. It's funny. So if you guys take a look at the quant alerts, right, you can see it actually fired an alert for Amat at 9:44, right, which is about I'd say about 6 to 7 minutes after we actually picked this up. So they're pretty good in terms of the alerts. I found they're pretty successful. If you follow them, if you watch the chart and take a look, they're pretty good. So as I mentioned, Cyber picking up steam here, net down here, right? This one I was taking a look at. This is another one. This can push another $1 today, $1.50 here. I'm just gonna add that down there. Okay. Okay, just gonna look at a few trades from last week. If Riot can make a new high over 24.10, I'm actually going to set an alert for this. If it makes a new high and closes a 5-minute candle above this area here, we can pick this up. So once per bar close and closing. Okay, so I set an alert and forget about it until it actually crosses over that. Same thing here. If it can make close, I'd say here, that can be a good entry. Actually, this one has another resistance here, so there's not much upside, but we can look at that one. So far, strength is still with the semis. You can see they're still pushing. This is 5% up. Remember this, guys? Down here, said, you know, the 23.50, and it hit 23.48. So it's not, you know, I don't have a crystal ball. It's not magic or anything. Just read what the chart shows you, right? If you actually pick this up, you're probably at least $1,000 on the contract, if not more. So this one here, now you can see this one here, right? This one here is struggling. 32.39, it's struggling to break that, right? When it breaks that one, it can make that $10 push to the upside. If it fails to break that one, it will come back down to about 20 here, so about $15 drop. So one to keep a watch on. Same thing with Apple. It's trying to build a base above the support. Facebook's doing pretty good. All right. You guys have been pretty quiet, so fire away your questions. Anything you guys wanna, you know, learn, pick up, shoot them at me. No questions, huh? Okay. We'll keep going over a few trades here and see what we can pick up. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely take a look. Go ahead, you guys. If you have any, you know, requests for follow-ups, definitely. DKNG. Okay. So I think I mentioned 45. What was it? This here, 45.50 was the area it has to get over. Now it's looking pretty good. 45.70 right now. Okay, let me pull up the option chain, okay? Okay, so option chain on DKNG. The June 18 ones has 15k in OI. I would prefer the 48 calls, but if you want to do the 50 calls, they're about $1.10. If you want to do the 50 calls, I would suggest July. And for the 50 calls, they are about $2.10, right? You get an extra month for the extra dollar. Time is your friend when you're playing options. So if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend getting the July ones. Stop loss, yeah. I would say this here, which is the 44 mark. Let me see what moving averages we have. Okay, so the one thing you gotta watch out for is you see the 55 week is right at today's price point here, 45.73. So your stop loss I would say a close below 44. So for this, it's about a $2 move on the stock. Your calls are gonna get hammered when it moves down. I would do half a position now, half a position later if this comes back down to 45, 44.90, and I would stop out at 44. That's my stop loss. Yeah, let me take a look. MBRX. I feel like I know this name. It has a history of spikes. So spike down, spike down, spike down, spike down, spike down. Could be setting up for a spike. Ideally, you want this. You see here how it's been on downtrend, sideways and then down. So it could be downtrend, we go sideways, could be setting up for a spike here. Now, whenever it does spike, you get about 20 to 35% on the spikes. So stock play on this, I would say your stop loss would be $3, $3.15 if you want to go tight. So that's about 10%, 12%, about 12% to the downside. You can get a good 10-15% to the upside on that. It's a biotech. I don't normally like playing biotechs just because of the nature of them, but if you think they have some news coming up, any FDA or something, this here can be a good play. Yeah, you're there. Okay. Stop loss for that would be 3.15 on that one. Okay, Amat is still moving. You can see here, 134, right? You had a nasty drop here. This is Twitter. You can see that movement, similar to Snap. Okay, there we go. We're getting a movement on the Nvidia. If you picked up that Tesla that I mentioned at 583, it's moved about $6 already, right? So pretty much this is my process, guys. I don't do a lot of things. Now sometimes it's hard for me due to work. Something comes up, a meeting comes up, I go off site. Sometimes I do I can't make all the trades, but I give you guys all the tools that you guys need to be able to make those trades. And the whole point of today's session is so you guys see my process, and see there's nothing fancy about it. I love having you guys in the group. I also want you guys to be able to pick your own trades. With a few of you have been doing that pretty well and successfully recently, so it's nice to be able to see that you guys can do this on your own, and hopefully help other people in the future, right? So there we go. 591. You're now in the money on that call if you picked it up. It's pushing through. It needs to close a candle above that to confirm. We got we are almost a couple dollars off from being in the money on that one, right? 619. There we go, right? So that is my process. It's might not be pretty for some people, but it works for me. I know everyone has their own process, right? This is mine, and I think I've refined it to a stage that I'm successful with it. Okay, let's look at Plug. How is Plug doing? Of course, not surprised. I do like that one. QS. Who asked me about QS? Was it Ange, I think? I remember what I said in pre-market, right? Loses that 26 zone. It's gonna be a pretty quick drop to $17, and you can see here it's already down $2, right? 7% drop in about half hour in the market being opened. So that volume profile, very powerful tool if you use it correctly. You can see here it's now entering this gap zone here, right? If it doesn't, you could potentially say there is a support here at 25.15, which is already broken. If it does not come back over 25.15, this is going back down to 17. So you could short this, you could go short on this or get puts on this. I would do $25 puts for I'd say June 18 on that. This has more to go on the downside. Pins pushing up. Okay. Snow. Sometimes I will revise my lines. You can see when I drew this was when we were here. You can see later on it built sort of a downtrend here, and line of best fit has now changed to that area, right? So these lines will change based on new market data, new market charts, to make sure that we are working with the best lines possible. Okay. All right. That's pushing. That's not bad. Let's go back to our list here. 619 still looks like it's there we go, confirmed with a candle close above. Next on the list for this 626, that can go higher honestly. This is now $2 in the money if you picked up the 132 call I mentioned. This is already at 23.50. This is now $3 in the money, right? So that's a few trades this morning you could have picked up. I know I didn't post anything in the alert section in terms of writing this down, but I did mention a few here on the chat. I feel like it's easier for you guys to pick this up, quickly. Okay, Amet is 40% up now. You can see there it's pushing, right? It's still strong. It's not, it has to get over this here, 590. I would say this here, 596. Otherwise it comes back down. Okay. All right, Soxol about 6% up. Google, there we go. Okay, I'm just checking a few DMs here. Wow. Look at that drop. This was one of those in the what was that fund called? The Archipelago fund, one of those stocks that they're pumping up. So they pumped this to 150. Was about 85 when market started correcting. It's at $19. If you bought that at even 85, yeah, you're gonna need a lot of diamond handing here to come back up. So this is why people say China stocks are risky. This is one of those things that can happen, right? RBLX, there she goes, right? I said this morning you know, when it breaks that 84, can move another $3 move. This will take off, right? We still got strength in the chips. Banks are okay. Retailers okay. Healthcare is okay. EVs starting to come back up, like I said, and you can see that here. And you can see the cyber ones, right? All right. Feel like I've been speaking forever, so I'm gonna put you guys on a bit of a mute here. Gonna get some coffee, some tea. If you guys have any questions, you know, anything, just hit me up. I'm just gonna grab a coffee and I'll be back. Dash. Yeah, let me see. There you go. Yeah, pretty good. Dash. Yeah, it broke through that 142 resistance. It had been failing. The next stop, if it now has a 144 resistance. If it can break that, next stop is 147. That one's okay. So what do you guys think of voice? Do you guys think we should be doing this more frequently?
Yes, I think it's a nice idea.
Okay. Unfortunately, I do share her department, so I have an office, but there's people in the offices beside me, so I'll have to see how to do this with in terms of voice. Maybe not voice, but I can do like a stream session, so I can have my stream up and type in what I see, what I think. I know voice is better, it's a lot easier, honestly, but I'm working on that. So my aim is to, you know, take this full time by end of the year. So you know, let's see how that goes. If you're still in Emmet, this is now $2.25 in the money. We are up. What are we up?
Is it still a buy for today? Like
no, not for that
day
one.
trade or something.
So let me see. Let me see from which one is lagging the market in terms of chips. I would say Marvel is lagging a bit, and you can see from the percentage here. AMD is lagging as well. If you want to get something in the chip sector, AMD would be a better buy. It failed to break that on Thursday. I believe they have news of a dividend, a special dividend or something. Is it like a $2 dividend or something? 6%. AMD would be the one I would buy if you are trying to get into any chip plays today. Yeah, I believe. Hold on, let me just confirm that. AMD. I know you have shares, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that gets me pretty excited if AMD is going to start doing a nice little divvy.
Yeah, I am pretty sure it's this record holders by 28th. Give me a sec. Let me just confirm that, okay? AMD. So they did announce 4 billion share buyback, blah 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 blah. AMD. I was sure they mentioned somewhere they do a special dividend. I guess not.
Damn.
Yeah. Where did I see that? Huh. I'll have to do some more looking, but I'm not seeing that now. I was pretty sure they announced special dividend for record holders by May 28th, like a 6% dividend or something. But I'll keep an eye on that and I'll let you know. I know you have your shares, right? Just hold those. Don't sell them, man.
No, I'll never sell those.
Yeah. There goes Nvidia at 621. We got $2 on that. We got there we go. Am I missing some chip stocks here? I know there's Avgo or Broadcom, but this very illiquid in terms of options. I wouldn't do options on that. Who am I missing in terms of, well, there's UMC. They're pretty small. I wouldn't do options on these either. I would go with options. I would go with Amat, maybe 135 calls for hold on. Now it has a resistance here. It's meeting. So see that resistance there, right? There, and there. It's risky. I would do 135 calls for June 18. I don't like chasing though, so that's the one thing you gotta be aware of. And you can see here it's starting to reject that, right? So if it pushes back down, I would say 135 calls, or if it confirms a break above that. Right now, I would not purchase. Okay, let's look at what's actually coming through Flow. You guys want to see my Flow screen, or do you guys want? Oh, Intel, yeah, Intel. Man, these guys so garbage. Yeah, no, I don't like these guys. Garbage. They do have, a good new chairman, I think, on the board, but they have to get over 57. Yeah, 57 is a key line here. Has to get over that first before it can go anywhere else. There's another resistance up here. Right here, 58.35. All right, you guys want to see TradingView or my Flow? You guys get to pick. So no, nothing. You guys see this? So it's very interesting, right? So the first trade today we took was Amat, and Quant picked this up, about 8 or 9 minutes after us and went long. And QuantumScape, as I mentioned, right? And I see we just got an alert a minute ago here to go short on this. So you can see here the whatever algo is being used to put out these alerts is looking at the same things we are looking at. Don't pay for an algo. They don't really. If you're starting out, sure, it will give you sort of an edge, but they're looking at the same things we're looking at, right? You can see we actually, if you took the short this morning, you took the short a couple dollars before the algo fired, right? So you're not getting anything that you can't already find out yourself. Does it make it easier? Sure. Is it gonna make you a better trader? Not really, no, right? You want to be able to see these things. you can see this morning I picked out Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Amat, that's 5 trades, and Tesla, that's 6 trades. I didn't take all 6. I took 2 trades only, right? So you don't need to take all your trades. You just need to be able to see the trades, right? If you see the trade, you can take the trade. If you don't see the trade and you're taking just trades for the sake of it, you're not doing the right thing in this thing. Over the long run, you'll take losses, right? So make sure you guys are seeing those trades. If you don't, ask me, right? I have no problems in explaining to you guys. If I don't see the trade, I will say lotto, or I will say, this is a risky trade, right? Because I want you guys to learn. I want to be honest with you guys and not, like tell you, oh, I have a crystal ball or something. No, it's just me and my eyes, right? Looking at the chart, that's all it is, right? Now, a lot of times it comes down to emotions, right? How do I get in? How do I get out? You can see Emmett here, like I said this morning, right? This is strong. So I'm still riding this trade because of the market strength in that sector, right? I'm moving up my stop losses, but I'm still riding that trade. Can I get out? Sure, I can take, it's what, 50% up now? I can take the 40% up and get out, right? But I still want to ride it as much as it can give us, right? I didn't get in right at open. I didn't get in when that opened. I got in, say, about 6 to 7 minutes after. I recommend most people wait at least 10 to 15 minutes for the market to pick a direction, right? Once you do that, you're in a better space to make winning trades. So, all right, I'm going to get something to drink. I'm parched here, so you guys go ahead. If you guys want me to put on some music, I can do that. Or just leave it as some silence on here. What do you guys want? All right, so I'm gonna pick then. Music it is?
Yeah, let's have some music.
Okay,
Maybe
all right, let's put
volume.
on some music on here.
Thank you.
No problem. You guys got any special music you want? Okay, music.
Look, can we double check RBLX one more time, please?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. RBLX. All right, so we can start. We can see here, right? It had good momentum. You see those 3 green candles, and then it built a base here at a resistance, right? You see flat line here at 86.70, broke above that, and it moved another $2, right? Now on the MACD here, we're starting to see a bit of weakening with the lighter green candles. RSI is a bit overcooked. What's gonna happen now is it's either gonna build a base. See, it did that twice already. So you see that here, right? Built a base, broke out. It's now trying to do the same thing. If it fails and you start seeing it go down in heavy volume, you short this back down to 86, or you get out of your long position, right? Chop like that is not good for options, right? You want to either be in that trade getting out, or you want to short that trade when it picks a direction. Right now it's just going sideways and it's killing your premiums, right? If you're already in the money, you don't have to worry about it. If you have like 100 call, that's killing your premiums right there. So right now you want to watch that 88.76 level carefully. See, does it make a new high or does it come back down, right? I think it might actually go sideways a bit and then come back down. The volume on this today, pretty good volume, already at the daily average of 10 million. This looks like a good day today. So congrats on that trade if you took it. It's pretty good. This is $2.50 in the money. Nvidia here, remember I said 619 is gonna hit 626. We are almost I'd say $3 away from that, right? If you picked this up, right? If you actually pick this up this morning, you are $9 or $8 in the money on that trade. And Google and Amazon. All right, let me put on some music. I'll just grab some tea here. Okay, is there any music playing though? Maybe it wants another channel.
Or else that's okay, I believe. Others may get disturbed or something maybe by this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep it very low volume so that it's not just dead air. Let me see. I'll put it on a very low volume. So
sure. But the session is certainly helpful, Mullah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I feel like you guys can, especially if you weren't able to make it to the live session today, if you guys go over this session, I think it's very useful. You guys can definitely pick up something. It might not be much, but it's gonna be helpful to you guys to just see how I trade. This is now $3 in the money, right? Like I said, I'm gonna write this up. And you can see here, built a base under the resistance and it's now going up, right? So for anyone who's not on the stream, you guys can join in to the stream. NIO, yeah, let's take a look at NIO. Yeah, that it's, you see the hammer candle it's working on today. That's a really good sign. The only concern I have with those 40 calls, Ange, is you see this trend line, right? You see here, see here, see here, see here. That is my one concern, is it might fail breaking that 35 area. Now you can also see that was a previous support line, which is now going to be resistance, right? I would wait, or I would go further out. For the 618 calls, that is tight. It has to make a $5 move, and it's failed a few times to break that trend line. So personally, I would go further out. I have 60 calls 60 strike calls on this for January 2023, right? I would wait for a confirmation over 35 to pick up the 40 calls for Neo anyways. So, hey Joe, how's it going, man? All right. Yeah, no, it's not the most user friendly on the phone. I agree. They could have made it easier. But you working on the go today? You know.
May I have your attention? A long alert has been dispatched for the ticker GPS. Repeat. A long alert has been dispatched for the ticker
Can you
GPS.
guys actually hear that?
Thank you for using quant data.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is quant data. They have this new feature. I'm thinking Cheddar has this too, and they're trying to incorporate that into their dashboard here. They could have made that a lot better. But hey, GPS. Let's pull that up and see what's cooking here. Long alert on GPS. So what are they seeing that we are not seeing on this? Now the one thing I'm seeing is it's failed to break this 3270 area here for a good few sessions. But we'll keep an eye on that one, see how that works out. Sorry, where was it? GPS. Okay, that was funny. Oh, there we go. It's starting to move now. So they see something there. $2 more to go to the next resistance on NVIDIA. Now, do you guys find it useful making a watch list like this to see the market direction? This is what I use. I used to use this heat map from the bot, but the only problem with the heat map, right? It's delayed by 15 minutes, right? It doesn't tell you what to look for in pre-market. It's just empty. What am I missing? There we go. So I found making my own list and going off that was more efficient. Wow, look at that green day today. 3% on Google, 2% on Microsoft, 1.3% on, 1.5% on Amazon. Riot. There we go. You see why you keep your alert in there, right? Failed to break that, came back down, right? So you put your alert in there, see how it looks like. Bitcoin's not doing too bad. They're just not catching up. I have not traded this symbol before, so I have no clue what they do. But what I use sometimes is this here. So I see it's finance real estate, right? 52-week high is 14, 52-week low is 5. You got a lot of upside potential on that. They do have a sell rating on this, and it's being 4% down for the month, 3% for the last week. Over year to date, I would say it's doing pretty good, 20% up. Okay, now let's look at the chart itself. CXW. Okay, it's sitting right on the 200 day today. It's a bit under. It has to close over that resistance on the 21 day exponential. Other than that, this MACD crossover potentially going down here, not looking good. I think this can go down more, honestly. It has to really hold the 200 day today, otherwise this goes down. Now, in terms of support, resistance, trend line, you could put a trend line down here. It's not the most elegant, really, but if you wanted a trend line down here, this one here, potentially there, touch there, and there. What were you thinking, Joe? Long or short? Okay, CXW, and this one here, if you're not in this trade, I would say let's wait for that daily to close and see if it can hold the 200 day there. It has closed below it a few times and it's bounced back pretty quickly. Close there, but that chart doesn't look good. Okay, let's look at this trash that I lost a lot of money on. Look at that. It's pushing up 7 cents today. There she goes. All right, so if you picked up Amat this morning was 240 entry. It's at 350 right now. Which is about 46% up. You are free to take profits here. I'm gonna sell half and I'll leave the rest with a 30% stop loss. Just riding this up, see how it goes. You can see it's starting to dump here, right? So I would start locking in some profits. 45% for a day trade is pretty amazing for about an hour, so that's pretty good.
Yes, Mama, you come on in. Hey, beautiful. Good morning. How are you? Good. Sure.
Okay, let's go back. Travi, you back? You a workman?
Yeah, my internet's being really weird right now.
Yeah. Am I on speaker? Can I be inappropriate?
Oh, I work from home still. You can always be inappropriate.
Well, that's not useful to me. So. All right, let's look at Pep while Travis is not here. So, Pep, what's going on? Daily dump it open as always. There we go. Reversal signs, and boom. So if you got that at the bottom, that's $1.50 move, close to, yeah. If it breaks that 148.35, yeah. If it breaks that 148.35, it can go to all-time highs, which is almost 149. All right, guys, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna get some tea here, okay? So far we got a few good trades going on here. We got Emmet holding up as well. Nvidia, a couple of dollars off. Tesla there. If you grab the 590 or 600. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, okay? This, like I said, Soxol, you can start a position. If you start a position this morning, it can go more, right? Travis, fix your Wi-Fi.